Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that follow button no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Gentlemen, I hope you've been keeping it warm. This is Samurai Cop.
Okay.
Yeah, so this movie exists.
And that was Samurai Cop from 1991.
How did this movie get its name? Because this guy does nothing, and I mean nothing, other than hold a sword to be considered a samurai cop. It should have been Gigolo Cop, because he be fucking.
Well, like, you'll notice a lot of that in the movie where people will just say they're something, no matter if they're not.
Yeah, he's supposed to be from San Diego, and he comes in with this nickname already, Samurai Cop, and he does nothing samurai-like until the very end, where he just happens to pick up a sword.
I mean, there's a little sword play in the middle there with that gentleman in the parking lot, but I feel like that was happenstance.
It's all happenstance.
One thing that I did enjoy, the 8-bit Double Dragon music for our Fembot Lady intro.
Oh, man.
Introduction to the Asian boss guy. Yo, he was like a fucking Marlboro man. It was wonderful.
Oh, man, the Yakuza leader or whatever with the mullet,
Yes.
That man is all style at all times.
Now, I didn't have Double Dragon. I was going to be a little bit more on the nose with it. I went Ninja Gaiden.
Ooh.
I mean, Asian Joe Dirt's done really well for himself, and I'm just gonna let him have it.
I want to say, life of God and dig it, but you know.
That's so bad. Let's just put it out there. This movie's about a cop. A cop who
Sure is.
is trying to bust the Japanese mob in Los Angeles because they're, I don't know, something about going up against the Chinese mob. It doesn't matter. They're trying to bust these Japanese mobsters for doing bad stuff.
Yeah, but it's like, imagine Lethal Weapon. You have like I guess the good cop, and you have the one unhinged cop or whatever. But really, it's just this one fella who just says words for about 90 minutes, and his partner's just over there just being an undercover cop.
Oh my God, that is the best line. What kills me is the entire Japanese Yakuza, whatever they are, hiding out in this area, decided to call a local Denny's their HQ.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this movie takes place in several locations, but they only shot in like 3. Like, you have what I can only assume is like maybe the office of whomever made this movie, somebody's grandma's house, and then just like that one place that's kind of like a restaurant / everywhere else.
Yes,
Grandma-
the
that's pretty
restaurant
nice.
parking lot / discotheque.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this movie.
It's actually really, I don't want to call it simple, but it's something we've actually run into before. It's almost like Miami Connection.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's an actual connection to this, but they're like these Yakuza gangs or whatever. They're just fighting, and then self-proclaimed samurai cop gets involved, and all of a sudden he takes it super personally. Then he has his vendetta by the end of the movie. Also, Robert Zadar's just here.
Am I right in assuming that the gang is nicknamed the Samurai Gang, or was the Samurai Gang a different gang altogether? Who's the Samurai Gang?
Dragon Sound, of all people. I don't know.
They're the ones that get gunned down in the alley by the Katana Gang, head by Asian Joe Dirt and our good friend, Mr. Zadar, whose chin is insanely cleverly hidden under this beard. So at first glance, it's not like Zadar would be an ugly guy. He's just got a really fucking gigantic caricature chin.
I'll tell you, I don't know who that guy is. I mean, I know who he is in this movie, but is he someone I should know other than this?
He's like kind of an infamous B actor. I think his like biggest thing was Maniac Cop with Bruce Campbell.
Going from Samurai Cop to Maniac Cop. All right.
I mean,
No,
you get types.
Yeah, and he's a killer that likes to hide in cleaning carts to decapitate burnt men.
The most
He also-
contrived thing in this entire
Dude.
movie. But we'll get to it.
I think it's just a shame that having this man on screen, seeing him being one of the only 2 people that can honestly act in this movie, and when I say act, I mean will at least deliver their lines in a way that seems like they aren't staring directly into your soul.
So you're trying to tell me there are only 2 people in this entire film giving performances.
Yes,
And I bet the second guy is just the police chief.
100%.
Yeah, I was going to say, I counted 1, and it was the police chief guy, Captain. He has some of the best dialogue in the whole film, by the way. This
No,
film's got some ridiculous dialogue. Let's put that out there right now. They are leaning into it, but this guy fucks.
he really does. But it's not the lines, it's the delivery, because the lines later on make zero sense. I guess character-wise, but ethically, he's legitimately like, "Hey, pals, you know what? Let's just resort to cold-blooded murder."
Oh, you mean when he takes the resignation / murder suicide pact?
He didn't even take it. That was his order.
That was his proposal.
That was his executive decision.
See, my favorite part of what he does is, I don't even remember who he's talking to at the time, but he's angry at somebody, one of the other cops, and he's like, "You're an asshole. Get the fuck out of here, asshole. Go get a job."
Oh, dude, he lays into that guy. He's like, "Hey, boss, I need some stuff." And he's just like, "Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to put you through that wall." And like, he's already out of the room and he's just like, "You fucking suck. I hope you die." I'm just like, what did he do?
Dude, at any moment he was going to break down into tears, fall back into his reclining leather chair and be like, "Samurai Cop, I love you, you son of a bitch."
Yeah, it's like that perfect cliche, like the really loud police commissioner and you have the off-the-wall cop. But like, he plays it like J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man. Like, "Give me pictures of Spider-Man." But he's like out there like, "You go out there and you murder those Japanese men."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just wants all of these Yakuza guys who, like, he doesn't have charges against most of them. He's got, like, the one guy being, like, a coke dealer or something.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I know I'm trying to insert logic into this movie, and I'm stupid for doing so, but just bear with me for a second. Later in the movie, we do discover, I guess, that guy was already on, like, the wanted list, like, number 1 or 2 or something. So that means he would have had a warrant put out for him. So there's, like, a scene coming up immediately where Samurai Cop and Co. just see the guy at the restaurant. They would be in legal reason to arrest him on the spot, but they just come in with their dicks out and just be like, "Yeah, I just want you to know that I exist and I'm coming after you."
No.
Just giving you a heads up.
He comes in there and gives that dude a Ric Flair shoot promo. He's like, "Listen, whether you like it or not, I'm the best thing going today. Woo!" And then he fucking fucks his woman.
He does, and in the weirdest way, he gets her information from the bus boy or something, and he's okay.
He's got a wingman, I'll tell you, or she's got a wingman.
This movie is probably the room tier or worse. So I'm trying to like give some characterization to a character that I don't know if they had direction.
When you look at him, he's like a busboy working at a Chinese restaurant, but then he mentions that he's from Costa Rica or something, and like there is a lot of racially miscast people.
There's also a lot of subtle racism too for no reason. Like the back and forth between Samurai Cop and his partner are literally just like, "You got a black ass, high five." I'm like, what?
Whoa.
What is this?
I think you're underselling that piece of dialogue there.
I am, because what he actually says is fucking absurd.
They might think he has a black ass, but then they also, while holding dick in their hand with a knife, say, "I'm going to be your gift, your big black gift."
Oh my god.
Yes, that's something that happens in this movie, but the interaction that I want to talk about is between, the black partner and the denim deputy himself. They're talking, and he's like, "Man, the captain, he's going to burn my ass." And he's like, "Yeah, he's going to burn it. He's going to burn it black." "Well, it's already black." "Yeah, it is. Right on, man."
And all this so awkwardly cut, it almost feels like they were doing this interaction in front of the bad guy.
Did you like the awful handshake? So he gives him like the high five, like they're gonna slap five, and then one slaps five, rolls the hand over, and the other one hits it with a fist, and he kind of grabs it limply and looks confused.
Yeah, and he holds it uncomfortably long, just like, "Yes, brother.
This is what we have done."
I don't think we've described this main character enough, the Samurai Cop himself. This guy is built like how would you describe it? Like an overly steroided fucking stick of meat, but he's got a long, luscious mane growing out of it, if it's growing. I still don't know if it's a wig or not, but he looks like fucking Brown Fabio.
And all that muscle and not a single one dedicated to the art of acting.
Nope.
Like apparently that dude used to be the bodyguard for Sylvester Stallone. He tried to have like an acting career and stuff. But like, I understand like making this movie was a huge pain in the ass for everyone because the guy who did it had absolutely no clue. But he is so entirely bored this entire movie. Like every little bit of dialogue is just Tommy Wiseau, just haha, it's crazy, keep it warm for me.
All right. So I'm going to agree 99.9% with you. Every bit of dialogue he delivers is dry, flat, and boring until they're at this hospital, which is the dentist office. Fuck, it's awful. Anyways,
Yeah.
they take an elevator and they're just outside somehow. I don't know. Anyways, so
The elevator just takes you to the next scene.
100%.
exactly.
It's a transition. That's all it was. And the only time that he delivers a line with emotion is at the hospital when this nurse, he's like, "You want to fuck?
No.
Bingo." It's awful.
Bingo.
And then she grabs his dick. And she goes, "You circumcised?" And he goes, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, "Because I think they took too much." And then this motherfucker genuinely, on film, looks hurt and starts to deliver his lines with conviction. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
You know, you're right.
offended. It's like, no,
He
no,
is.
it'll get the job done.
Yeah, he's taking it back. And she's just like, I don't know. Looks like they did a whack job on you. But like, we're totally not playing up how this conversation just exists. Like, yeah, those are words and they were put into sentences, but just, it's almost like two humans who have never met another human or trying to communicate.
It made me have like gamer vibes. Do you remember that with Gerard Butler whenever like the big fat dude is eating pancakes and letting the syrup drip on himself and he's playing as the chick and he's like, "Oh yeah, don't you want to touch these tits?" And you're just like, "Ugh."
I don't know anything about that. I'll tell
Well, it's a lot of cringe, and boy, there's so much in this movie.
you. Oh yeah.
Plot-wise, there will be multiple shootout scenes where people just shoot, reload, reload. This movie 100% wants you to know that these guys have ran out of ammunition and know how to reload that gun because Robert Zadar
yeah.
does it with the Uzi, the chick does it with the Uzi, and the black guy who gets killed with the Uzi and falls down shooting it still reloads that Uzi.
I'm pretty sure that man was Japanese. His character's
My
name
fault.
was Yashi Yomamoto.
You're right.
Well,
Okay.
see, here's the thing. This entire scene began with Robert Zadar counting exactly 4 goons to attack these policemen as soon as they leave.
These guys are handpicked from the video game Streets of Rage and sent out to just thug it up. And man,
Yeah.
these fight scenes are barely passable.
From what I can recall, that all these fight scenes were rehearsed for about 15 minutes before they shot them. I mean,
But-
just enough. It's just like, setting the microwave for something, just cooking something perfectly.
Yes, it is definitely not half baked. It is perfectly cooked.
It's definitely one of those things where they send like one guy at a time and then that guy gets dispatched and then they move on to the next guy. Ooh, look, I've got a weapon from the previous guy that I've gotten rid of.
It's Adam West Batman combat until boss fights.
Yes, because each individual goon is just their weapon. It's like, oh no, it's boot knife!
Right.
Yeah, shotgun guy.
Shit, it's Samurai Man, not Samurai Cop, not to be confused.
Okay, don't forget, y'all. If you come in front of Samurai Cop and try to fight him like a samurai, his partner will shoot you.
Yes, the dude brought a knife to a gunfight, for real. And
Mm.
also, their huge move is just to yell, freeze, and immediately smoke the guy.
Yes.
It was just
my,
it was just so they can slow down just enough so they can kill him.
my favorite is during the chase, whenever Samurai Cop, the titular hero, is yelling, "Shoot! Shoot him! Shoot!" And I swear to God, that's why it feels like an arcade shooter. Like, you're
Yes.
over there, you're not shooting fast enough, and the game's yelling at you to shoot, and then reload, and then shoot some more so this guy can fall out of the window or the back of the van at 5 miles an hour, and then you can get this horribly rough
Oh.
cut of him getting ran over and blowing out his knees.
Man, there's no dialogue for like 30 seconds or something. We gotta copy and paste this line like multiple times. Shoot! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot! Shoot him! We just have that like too many times for that to be a coincidence.
Well, the effort runs out pretty quickly. Like, we go from scenes where you could really tell they're trying to piece together whatever they had, and then later on there were entire chunks of dialogue that are just muted. They're just not even there. People are talking, but you can't hear a damn thing.
Well,
For the
you don't need to hear it because we are accompanied by the sweet jazzercise music that sounds like "I'm so excited."
It's used pretty well. Like, shit's about to happen when it just absolutely just steamrolls the movie. The music appears just like Kool-Aid Man, just like breaking through a wall. Yeah.
Hold you, wrap my arms around you. And it just turns into that goddamn Clive Owen movie that we watched.
Shoot 'em up.
Oh yeah, shoot him up.
You know what? Kind of, because like, Robert Zadar, this is post all these henchmen getting hinched. And like he just like unloads exactly 2 clips worth of ammunition out of an Uzi. And the movie goes out of its way to show you that yes, he's dangerous. He has exactly 2 clips and walks away.
Robert Zatar, if we haven't filled in that blank, he plays the character, I don't know, he looks like Steven Seagal in this or something, but with maybe a mullet instead of a ponytail. He is the number 2 guy. He's like the big enforcer guy to the, I don't even remember his name, Fujihatsa or something like that. He's the big bad. He's the mafia boss. But you got to go through Zatar to get to the mob boss.
Well, Chin to Kill decides to 86 this entire situation. And one of the hardest times I laughed through this whole screening was just like this one-off dialogue thing where Samurai Cop's partner's just like, he killed his own men. And then Samurai Cop just goes, I know. And the scene changes.
Yeah, we get slash cut to fucking Robert Zadar and this kind of hot redhead chick whose carpet don't match the drapes having a sex scene. You get to see like 20% butthole here.
I don't know, like as soon as she starts sucking on his chin, I had to like look away for a second. Which didn't help me any because it goes on for 10 minutes, so when I look back, I still had half to go.
Yeah, there are multiple sex scenes in this movie, and every single one of them lasts way too damn long. Especially this one, because it's nothing even happens. They're laying there in bed, and then something happens, and then he's got to run off, and we don't really see what happens after that, but I know she's probably pulling something electronic out of her drawer.
No, nice. But well, both sex scenes end the exact same way, by a phone call, and also by somebody angry, like, I've been trying to talk to you all day, what have you been doing, fucking? And they're just like, yeah, what do you need?
Of course
I'm here to talk to you about your car's fucking extended
car insurance.
Yeah. I wanted all these sex scenes to end with the chicks because they look miserable. Just rolling over, looking at the camera, and going, it's a living. Like the bird from Flintstones.
When these ladies would take off their top, I'd just be like, oh, this poor actress. She's going to be here forever.
They're both, all 3, we have sex scenes involving 3 different women, I want to say. All 3 of them are very attractive, but they are all laying next to just like a gross, sweaty, oily hunk of rock in a bikini.
I like that you're going out of your way to describe this physique, just like Bobby Heenan would do. I think I'm going to start calling you Chandler the Brain.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
There you go. Well, but the plot decides to pop back into place. So with this hit, these 2 fellas, these 2 cops, they have to go around like, who was the guy who put out this hit? And even though it was clearly Robert Zadar trying to kill them in the parking lot, they're just like, oh yeah, there's the Asian guy with the Fu Manchu mustache. Go get him. He's probably fucking right now, so ample opportunity.
Oh, god damn. It's his last fuck.
Dude! Yes. And then he follows that up with a freeze and tries to open a locked door.
Yeah. Like they struggle so hard. It's like, oh, it's locked. Well, hey, can you get the door for me? No, man, I'm trying to get it in. Go away. Come back and arrest me in like 25 minutes.
I do kind of wish like they just continued and it's just a muffled, God damn it, open up the door. Dun, 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 dun.
It's bulletproof and he's in there wrecking it.
Wrecking it.
Actually, I just remembered another sex scene, or I think it was a sex scene. I don't even remember. In that scene a little bit later when the mafia guys are trying to find out where our Levi's lieutenant lives, they bust into this one cop's house and he's like, why are you here? And the lady's like, my husband's a police officer. Yeah, that's why is this him? Or is it anybody else get a little bit confused by that?
I mean, at this point, I'd already given up on like actually understanding scene for scene. I was just kind of hoping like I would at least be given enough time to just be in a scene before it cut to something else, and it just never happened.
100%. Like that scene you're talking about, Chandler, whenever it cut to them, I went, who's that guy? And then I went, oh, he's the cop guy. Just because the wife was like, my husband's a cop. I went, oh yeah, that's right, he is.
I don't know if that's just a really shoehorned piece of exposition, or if she's trying to tell us that she is cheating on her husband, the cop, and they're just going to interrogate this guy anyway, regardless of who he is.
It's probably like a Lisa from The Room situation where she's just throwing it around. Doesn't matter. As soon as he turns his back to make a sandwich, boom, next dude.
Zadar's just fucking chin deep.
Ugh. Everybody was so sweaty in this movie. Ugh.
Sweaty and oily, and but they smelled bad.
But with our good buddy, Senor Last Fuck, goes on the run Benny Hill style. And we get this instant chase in this fucking van where they're going like 15 miles an hour and it's super sped up and it's painful and it's hilarious. And then suddenly he's ripping his wig off in the desert.
Yeah, chase scene is filled with things that just should have never happened. If you ever try to make a movie, let's say just for a small budget, you learn pretty quickly, like, hey, maybe some of the ideas I had were better left on the cutting room floor. In this movie, they're just like, no, I'm going to do everything that I want, and it's all fucking terrible.
Look, we do it regardless of how bad it is. Oh, we can't actually make it bad? Let's make it real bad then.
Oh, a guy falls out of a van going 10 and gets run over? Maybe.
My favorite action scene in here, though, was the hot grease torture that they do to the chick cop that's been throwing it around.
I mean, it's fairly effective, but I do feel that Robert Z'Dar was really into that.
Yeah, he was. That's, I think, why it worked. I think maybe he was dumping hot grease on this poor lady. He was like, oh, I did that because, like Bret Michaels, it was turning me on.
Well, speaking of being turned on, Samurai Cop goes on a date with bad guy's secretary.
Oh, it's like, from what I understood, and you guys have seen this more than me, it's like she was like the new owner of this restaurant because her dad died, and he's just like throwing money at her to be able to like launder money through her restaurant.
And this is probably one of the many times where I was just like, I guess.
Yeah, so he talks to her a little bit and is like, hey, I think you're hot. You want to go out? No, I can't today. No, I can't on Sunday because it's my birthday and I have church. And
Oh,
so
man.
he finds out what church she goes to and meets her there in his finest Canadian tuxedo.
He could smell her from outside.
I mean, the dude was totally jonesing for her, but like in a super creeper way. Like,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
clearly uncomfortable, and he's like, so, what church you go to? Yeah, nice place. I'll be there with Jesus.
Yeah, I was in there preaching. Did you not hear me? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know nothing about no Bible. But
He's just like Nick Cage from Face Off, just grabbing
But-
people's asses in the choir.
but I'm going to need you to come down to the police station and answer some questions. But this isn't the police station. It's your apartment. Yeah, no. That's the point.
Yeah, no, drink this Kool-Aid.
I made you dinner and some wine and a birthday cake. Now let's fuck.
Just hard cut to them on the beach in their skivvies.
Yeah, she did not bring that bikini with her. So that's something that he had at his apartment already.
That should be pretty telling to her that
Yeah.
this is not a good place to be.
It's
But
not his
he's-
first rodeo.
No, but he's definitely hot on her trail.
Oh, there we go. All right, I've been waiting on this. What I got here today is from Pizza Port Brewing Company. This is Breaking Trail. It's a 7.0% alcohol by volume India Pale Ale out of Carlsbad, California.
Well, we're giving you just a second. We'll give something else more than a second, which was this girl's titties when she flopped them out. She had them titties out so long I lost interest.
Now, I call them 75-cent titties. She had a quarter on one side and 50 cents on the other.
Sponsor us.
So this is actually pretty malty, decent, solid, sweet, but not too sweet base. There's a little bit of that green hoppiness in there, but it's not overwhelming. This is solidly a West Coast style IPA. There's a little bit of that citrusiness, a little bit of orange rind, grapefruit, little pineapple, but it's not too citrusy, it's not too sweet, it's not too fruity. It's pretty solid. It's a West Coast style IPA. It'll drink.
Well, speaking of getting all drinked up, Samurai Cop was trying to drink down this lady, but oh, look at that! Unfortunately interrupted by henchmen hinching around.
He does get the heads up about 5 seconds ahead of time. From
Oh
his
no,
partner.
not even 5 seconds. He's like, quick, get out of there, people are after you. And he just like looks out the window and there's like like the three blind mice are just outside creeping around.
Looks like they're already here. Listen, I'll call you back.
He hangs up the phone and steps outside fully dressed and armed to the teeth.
Man, I just don't want to see this guy in his bikini anymore. This is like a Speedo, and this is like his uniform.
I mean, he's the kind of guy who just wears his banana hammock and it gets credited too.
This turns into Lethal Enforcers Level 3, Lethal Enforcers. And we get a floater in his pool, and everyone's shooting everyone. He escapes in his car with old girl. She immediately goes home like a teenager from a sitcom and is spinning in circles and telling her mom she doesn't have to worry about this old Asian dude no more because she got a man.
She's in love.
And then right in the door, Joe Dierte.
It does that like zooms in
Oh,
on his
man.
face, all angry.
That was a good hearty laugh. And it's like, uh-oh, she's in trouble because she basically told her plan out loud?
Yeah, her damn exposition gave it away, and it would be one of those moments again in the '80s sitcom where it was like doodle doo 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 doo, and then it cuts to commercial for a minute.
And the audience is just like, oh, I can't believe that.
Yeah, discuss.
We've compared this to The Room a little bit, and I don't know that that's entirely fair. They are both comically bad movies, but I think this one leans just a little bit more into it than The Room does. I mean, considerably more into it. The Room is a
so.
straight fantasy, but there's definitely some times in this where they say a line of dialogue and they just want to look to the camera and be like, "Oh yeah."
Maybe,
Oh, man.
maybe. But I would say that over this one, The Room, lack of everything that it doesn't have, at least it had a vision. This movie just feels like, man, we have to make this now. Let's get it done.
I could see that because there are clearly a lot of first takes and a lot of you don't have another chance. Or we reshot this, but we couldn't fix everything the way it was before because there's a shootout later and the window's already broke and then it shows them breaking the window and then the camera lingers on the broken window for like literally
Oh, yeah.
5 seconds and nothing's happening with it.
Yeah, anything like geography just does not exist in this movie. People are just shooting from wherever to wherever. People are just in places at different times, and then the movie ends.
They're in downtown Los Angeles. I know where that building is that they keep showing. That's like straight up downtown, absolute downtown Los Angeles. Then the next thing you know, Helicopter Girl is at the port of LA, like on the beach. I don't know how fast that helicopter moves. I know they're generally not that speedy. It would take her like half an hour or 40 minutes to get there, but she's just right there, and so are they right behind them.
Look, Helicopter Cop is the best, okay? Just let her do her thing and stay in her lane.
See the van.
She's up there keeping it warm. Helicopter.
Oh.
So we get another shootout now because why not? They go to bust. I don't really know what I want to call him. He's like the Asian Dennis Hopper because he's about to do the speed scene.
The Asian
But first-
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, but first they're shooting up this room and they kill a floor set television. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen one of those in so long. The last thing I can remember a floor set TV doing was playing my VHS copy of Barbed Wire.
Oh, nice. And I know why.
I know why, too.
But in the middle of this quote-unquote gunfight, this, a lot like any other scene in this movie that may have been haphazardly cut together, it definitely feels like this one supposedly coherent scene is shot in like 3 or 4 different places that's been stitched together.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man. Because like they bust in, they're in like a bedroom, and then it's 110% like the outside of a motel. Then it's a large parking area, and then suddenly they're in a forest on a cliff, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know, but like whatever house has that paper mache lion in it, I kind of want to see it.
Oh, with the mop mane?
Yes. Like
That thing
fucking-
caught my eye quick. That and the copy of Roots.
Well, you don't even get a chance to not look at it. It's like front, center, and framed where you have to look at it.
Yeah.
And even with all that, plot-wise, this is where it absolutely goes off the rails. So, at this point...
This is where it goes off the rails.
I mean, this is where ethics are tossed out the window. They go back to the police chief, and he's just like, fellas, you do your job well, but at this point, I kind of have to fire you. And he pauses. Ah, fuck it, go murder everybody, and I'm going to turn my badge into, let's go fucking get him!
Yeah,
Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
he kind of presents an idea of a murder-suicide pact almost, but
He doesn't even present the idea. That's his final orders as a police chief, apparently.
And boy, oh boy, they get to it.
man, if we haven't talked about it enough, this police captain guy, man, his dialogue, that
Like, I know this is a budget movie, but I kind of wish he was Michael Ironside because the lines would still land perfectly.
I was honestly 100% getting ready to say, he always reminds me of like if he was either in Starship Troopers or Recall, it'd be perfect. Like Rico, and he's just yelling,
Rico. Yeah, Samurai Cop, you're gonna have to finish me off.
"You're gonna have to shoot me, Samurai Cop," and Samurai Cop's like, bingo.
You're right.
But he'll pull out a line that's like, "It feels like someone stuck a big club up my ass. And it hurts. And I gotta figure out how to get it out of there." The cops are just like, "Yeah, man, that's a little bit weird of an analogy. All right, you do you."
Hard cut to his partner just making a face.
Dude, that's 30% of the movie. Samurai Cop delivering god-awful dialogue. Next frame is literally just the partner's face, like, what? Doing stupid shit.
Is this the character that Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder is based off of? Because he reminds me of him a whole lot.
I don't know. I don't think the movie would let this guy be that cool. But like all the lines they give this guy, it definitely feels just like someone 100% clueless just sat down and thought, I know what a black person is.
And also, I know what Asian people look like. Let's just get white people and give them a little bit of a tan. Get in here, Gwen Stefani.
Oh, she's feeling hella good, though.
I guess. She knows how to spell bananas, and that's what this movie is.
Well, as long as she knows that, katana means Japanese sword.
Japanese?
The more you know, and then it's the rainbow with the star on the end.
Yeah, da-da-da-da.
The delivery, though. What does katana even mean?
No, it's much more annoyed. It means Japanese sword. There it is.
But it's so like...
anything? I'm a samurai.
But it's so like genuine, though. It's still genuine. It's not like tongue-in-cheek. It means Japanese... No, it means Japanese sword.
But here we are, fellas. We are at the final finale. And I say that because I feel like this movie could have ended like 4 times already. But we go to this... It feels like the director knew somebody who owned a ranch. He's like, hey, can we shoot here for like a day or two? And then 6 months later, like, hey, can we shoot here for a day or two again?
Dude, 100%. But I think they wrap it up so neatly. Like, all the goons come out. Of course, the goons get got. But squibs are expensive, so there's no blood.
But obviously, like, it's not good. But this whole thing plays out like kind of a shitty video game where you just have goons in places. The cop fellas are running around. It's just like, dude on the left, dude on the right. There's a dude on the roof. Get him.
Dude on the roof was the absolute worst. Between him and Giant Rick James, I don't know who's more out of place.
Dude, there was a bunch of like fake celebrities as goons. You had like Ernie Hudson over there, and coincidentally, Ray Parker Jr. has a revolver.
Who was the old guy from Austin Powers who's like, they're trying to get me Lucky Charms? That motherfucker was in there.
Yeah, remember when they killed the Cross and he fell into the pool?
And they're somehow all Japanese.
It's whatever you identify as. Just like how our main character, he just identifies as a samurai.
Sure, yeah, it only makes sense in this context, yeah.
And this is the perfect opportunity to show off his samurai skills.
Yeah.
By letting his partner shoot a man with a samurai sword.
Again, yeah, it happens again. I thought the first time it was just kind of an homage to Indiana Jones or something. Yeah. But no, that's just how they operate. You get one guy with a samurai sword, have the main guy pick up a dead guy's samurai sword. Now we got a showdown. Oh, he shot him.
Yeah, like the showdown lasts for a moment. Like he finally gets a samurai sword in his hand that wasn't short-handed, pun. And they just like tink around, the footage is sped up, and everybody's just like sweaty at the end of it, and they've done absolutely nothing. In fact, almost in like Karate Kid style, like the move that puts Robert Z'Dar to the ground is just like some Aikido Steven Seagal thing, just twist his arm until he can't move.
His chin threw him off balance.
No, it's like he pinches a pressure point or something, and it's like, oh, I got you now with the fucking Vulcan death grip or something. You're paralyzed for 45 minutes.
Exactly. And then he goes on about to break his neck and I guess be the victor, and for whatever reason, even though his boss sent him out on a death wish mission, his partner's like, wait, you're an cop, don't kill him in cold blood, even though you've gone through a dozen dudes to get here.
Right. Aloud across the ranch, no, Joe, you're a cop. Oh yeah.
It just flashes back to him samurai-ly accepting his police badge from the academy. Steve Gutenberg's there, I guess.
I'll tell you what he didn't accept was fucking Zadar's boot knife.
Boot knife, TM.
I was dying though. He's like, yeah, and pulls it out and he's like, look out, samurai cop. And he's like, don't worry about it. Ridiculous.
Call an ambulance. but not for you.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. He's like, he pulls up the knife, and his partner's like, "Oh, he's got a knife. Something's gonna happen." He's like, "No, it's okay. He's about to commit Sudoku because he's a ninja."
Yep, that's what it's called, right? Sudoku? Yeah, 100%. That's probably right. Go ahead and print it.
And credits.
Yep.
Actually, no, I take it back. Hard cut to more banana hammock on the beach.
Oh, yeah, I was
don't
going to
know.
mention, there is, I don't know if you guys noticed it, there is the Jaws theme cut in for, like, the maximum amount of time that they could possibly get by with it in, like, fair use. There's, like,
Really?
2.5 full seconds of the Jaws theme in there.
Like
not
a
at the
donut?
end, not at the end, but, like, toward the middle somewhere. I pointed it out.
you just point at the TV.
No, I was like, no, that's the Jaws theme, but only enough to get by with, like, not getting sued.
Oh, Jaws? No, that's just Jaw.
Yeah, just one of them.
Juh. I just turned it off once it got to more sex on the beach. It's like, all right, I don't need that.
No, it doesn't even get that far. It's just like they're on a rock, you see another rock. D credits, and that's it.
Just like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well, if we can compare and contrast those two films, yes, wow, let's have so much in common.
Yeah, this one's way better.
You know, all these people identifying as Japanese and whatnot. There's a dildo fight.
Man, I've got an idea. Let's not worry about it right now, but I've got an idea.
I'm opting out of any dildo fight idea.
I was gonna say, and that was the night that Chandler became Florida Man.
All right, so this was the first time that I'd seen this movie. It is not good. It was entertaining, for sure. This movie probably shouldn't have been made, and if it was made, it needed to have like twice the budget and twice to 3 times the talent, which it does not as is. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. It's not good. It was a bad movie.
I agree with all that. Of course. It doesn't have the charm of The Room. It's just nonsensical, incompetent. There's absolutely hardly any true entertainment value, but it's just so goddamn inept. It's hard to look away.
I would love to see this with real actors, with a little bit actual, meat on the bones here. I think that this would be a blast as a parody film. Like, if you actually got Mel Gibson to come in and do this with Danny Glover just fucking off, and just had all these goons, like Terry Crews is goon at 1 through 6 wearing different wigs, some are like blonde with ponytails, this would be a fucking smash hit. But as is, it's still pretty goddamn funny in the way that you can just sit at it and just reflect on someone made that, man. And it's fucking ridiculous, and it's fucking great. More of this, please.
Well, there you have it. That was Samurai Cop from 1991. Holy fuck. Seems like it's from the 70s.
Yeah.
If you have any comments about the movie or the show, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to bash that bell icon down there too. Bash it so you don't miss what we've got brewing up next. And we are going off the rails lately, so you want to keep up.
Get out there and follow us on social media. We got the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. We are everywhere. Podcasts are available, y'all. We even got the YouTubies. So give us a listen. We're kind of funny sometimes. And if you don't, we're going to get Robert Zadar's zombie to come and jaw on your face. He already ate this lady. You ain't going to be nothing but a snack too.
I don't know if I can keep it warm anymore.